Jeffro from Two Hacks Garage here. Well, I'm back on project DZ292. I know you're probably wondering what DZ292 is. Well, to recap, we all know what the small block Chevy 302 was. A lot of people know it as the DZ302. However, there was a 283 Little Ripper that was never built. It should have been, but it wasn't. That's the DZ292. In short, I'm taking the principles and practicality of the 302 engine, the specs on it, and I'm building the 283 version of that as close as I can. I'm using some stock parts, and I'm using also aftermarket parts, and I'm trying to get everything as close as I can to spec, whether it be piston weight, rod weight, compression, camshaft, intake, carb, heads, you name it. That's why I'm calling it Project DZ292. Why isn't it DZ283? Well, this happens to be a 60 over 283, which comes out to be 292 cubic inches. If you saw in the last video, well, I got the crankshaft installed, set the thrust, all that fun jazz, and it's time to install the pistons on this. If you see, I've already got one in here. I was just doing some checking on some stuff off camera. But yeah, in this video today, what we're going to do is we're going to get the pistons installed. I'm going to check the piston deck height. And you know what, guys? We're going to check rod side clearance, and we're going to go from there. For more informative, in-depth videos on engine building, I'm also doing a series on my 311 cubic inch small block Chevy. That's a 302 60 over. That one's a lot more in depth. This one here is just for fun. However, at some point down the road when it's done, we're going to put this thing on a dyno, and we're going to find out power numbers, how it compares to the 67 302 Chevy. With that, let's show you what we're working with. All right, so here's what we're working with. I've already assembled the pistons and the rods and got the bearings in there. It's a Keith Black high protective piston with a small dome on it. It's the closest thing I could get to the actual high dome TRWs that were offered in the 302. So with that, what we have is we have a Clevite bearing, and we have an Eagle SAR rod. It's forged. It's a floating pin setup, and it's got ARP rod bolts. This here, weight-wise, probably at the end of this project, I'm going to go through everything in depth, more on that. But as far as piston weight, rod weight, and all that stuff, it's very, very close to what was stock in the 302 Chevy. Rings have been filed. Everything's ready to go. So what we need to do is we need to get these things installed. All right, real quick, guys. I did already calculate this. So 302 stock, the rod was 580 grams. This rod on average was 584 grams. So this is actually 4 grams heavier. Pin and piston on a factory one on a 302 was 775 grams. Now, this isn't bob weight. This is just actual weights. It was 775 grams. This piston and pin is 712 grams. So that's actually 63 grams less. So the total weight, not the bob weight, but the total rod and piston on the 302 was 1,355 grams. We're at 1,296 over here on the 292. So we are on each piston and rod combo, we're 59 grams less. That's really not that much weight, guys, but it is pretty close from the factory 302. With that, if you know me, I like taking notes. So I've already got my rods and mains measured out and got my clearances written down. So this is not going to be checking those again. But I do have here, per Eagle's instructions, 40 foot-pounds of torque. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in after I install them, torque them all down, and make a notation that I torqued them. We're going to check rod side clearance between 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 5 and 6. Mark that down. Factory spec I looked up is 10 to 23 thousandths. And then piston to deck height, we're going to check that and get that all recorded. I like taking notes. Very important. Speaking of that, always make sure you refer to your paperwork from the manufacturer. I like to show off what tools and stuff that we're working with to complete this. Well, I got various torque wrenches, sockets, and all that. You guys all know that. But you're going to need as a ring compressor. I like these that are set up already for what I'm doing. This is for the 3.935 inch bore. We're going to be using some Clevite assembly lubrication, some oil. That's for the cylinders after we clean them so everything slides in nice and neat. And you're already wondering what the transmission fluid is for and the coffee filter. My buddy Shane from Slant Daily Garage, I think I've mentioned this before, he has shown me a trick. Since that's got detergents, it's a very good cleaner. This has got good scrubbing capabilities too to get into the fine hatching of the cylinder bores, but this leaves no residue behind. There's a good tech tip for you. Cleaning your cylinders with some transmission fluid and a coffee filter. I think it's time to get to work. First step I'm going to do, I'm going to get everything cleaned up. All right, so next what I'm going to do is I'm just going to leave this on time lapse. Like I said in my other videos, I go into more detail on the engine building. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to get this bank of pistons installed. What you want to do is you want to make sure your crank journal down here is all the way down towards the bottom so you don't hit it going in. Remember to make sure your ring gap orientation is correct. And basically what I'm going to be doing is you're going to see me, I'm going to oil up these cylinders, just regular motor oil, really well. And on my ring compressor, I'm going to oil that up along with this. I'm going to put it in there. I'm going to start dropping those down. However, what else you're going to see is I'm going to make sure I put my bearing assembly lube from Clevite on here. And once I get these in there, when I'm going through it, I'm just going to finger tighten these up there and snug them. Once I get them all in, I'll flip it over and I'll get things torqued. So that's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to go ahead and get this bank of pistons installed. All right, so there we have it. I got these 4 installed. If it looks like I'm working at a weird angle down there doing that, to be honest with you guys, I'm not that tall a person in real life. So for me to just snug up caps here, it's actually really easy. If you really wanted to, you could turn it, do it, turn it, do it. But however, I've got accustomed to doing it that way. I've done it multiple ways. Just do what's best for you, what you feel comfortable. So as you can see, I got these 4 in. The rod caps are just snug. So when I get the other 4 in, which would be the next step, I'm going to go in and snug those up, make sure everything turns okay. I'm going to flip it over and I'm going to torque the mains, torque the rods and go from there. But one thing to consider, guys, when you're doing this, make sure you orient your pistons correct. You know, I always make myself notes and all that. Make sure you put them in the right way along with the chamfer on the rods, because there is, like I showed you in another video, a radius larger on the outside of the rod versus the inside of the rod, because that's the chamfer and the fillet on the crankshaft. So yeah, here we go. What we're going to do is going to get these other 4 cleaned up. We're going to get the other 4 installed, and that's going to call it a good one. See you in a few. All right, so all the pistons are in. I got the rod cap snug. What I'm going to do is I'm going to flip this over and I'm going to torque everything down to the recommended specification by ARP at 40 foot-pounds. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it over a little bit, make sure everything's cool and kosher. And then I'm going to go in, I'm going to check rod side clearance, and I'm going to flip it back over and I'm going to check deck height, piston to deck height. All right, so there we have it, guys. That's all done and taken care of. Like I said, it's not that bad. Just follow your paperwork, follow the suggested torque sequences, clearances, check all that type of stuff. Take your time, clean services. it's not that bad. What you saw there, what I did was I ended up checking all my deck heights. Everything's pretty much zero decked. Then I checked my rod side clearance. Everything on that was at 15 thousandths. So yeah, I'm pretty good. I put a little oil down the cylinders, just wipe it down because it's going to sit for a little bit, and I don't want anything to get any rust or pitting on there. So yeah, that's pretty much it. In the next video, what we're going to end up doing on this is probably stabbing a camshaft in. It's a Isky cam, and get timing gears on all that fun jazz, and we can start butting the bottom end on this. Yep, DZ292, it's coming along.